Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Got another review for you for the Mossberg Maverick 88 security model. This is going to be a review of this firearm, and we're also going to discuss some of the upgrades I've done to it along the way. Some of them, when I talk about them, how difficult they were, how not difficult they were, just to give you a heads up on what you got sitting in front of you. The review is going to be pretty short. It's a pump action shotgun. There's really not much to review on it. The Security 88, it's been around for a while. If there was anything negative about it, someone would have already told on them already. Yeah, it's a 12 gauge pump action shotgun from Mossberg. It's the Maverick 88. The one right here is the 18.5-inch barrel. The tube, the magazine tube on it, has a capacity of 5+1. Now they also have another model that has a 20-inch barrel and it has 7+1. So add a little bit of length, you get +2 in the magazine tube. It is what it is. I picked this gun up at the beginning of 2021, and pandemic. Some guns were scarce. And I'd been looking for this gun for a while, and I just couldn't find one. And was at my local academy, and they were literally putting them on the rack, and I picked it up. I mean, you can't beat the price of an 88. Yeah, I mean, for this gun, right? I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. We're going to talk about some of the things I've done to it, because this is not a stock 88. If you look at the foregrip, it's not what comes with it. Side saddle, not what comes with it. And then I've added these sling holders. Don't have a sling on here for the video, for the sake of the video. The stock, left it stock, right? Now, you can change this out if you want to, but to me, a stock is a stock. This does its job. The buttstock on it, it's nice padding. It's a skeletonized, nice rubber finish to it. I mean, it really will absorb the shock whenever you're firing the shotgun. It's it's pretty solid. It's got a cross bolt safety. And if you got a Mossberg 500 or a 590, you got the thumb safety right here. And then, yeah. What else about the shotgun? Other thing about it, all it has for a sight's a front bead. Now I've put a fiber optic on it, and I'll discuss that when we get to the upgrades. But, yeah, the gun itself, I mean, it's a great gun. It's a shotgun. It's a pump action shotgun. I mean, these things don't fail, I mean, they can. Anything can fail, but I mean, it's a pump action shotgun. For the upgrades, a lot of these parts, they're the same for the Security 88 and the 500 and the 590. If you look up a lot of these parts, they might say for the 500, but it will also fit on the 88. So let's get into these sling mounts. So these sling mounts, right, they're quick detach sling mounts from Uncle Mike's. You can look them up on eBay. You can look them up on Amazon. And I think they're between 12 and 15 bucks. But if you go to Uncle Mike's website and look these up, they were, when I bought them, they were $8, and I got free shipping. Yeah, totally worth it. They're quick detach, so you just unscrew this, and you can, I'm doing this one-handed, right, but you unscrew it, and it allows you to, if I can screw it the right way, allows you to push down, move it. I'm not going to do it right now because I've only got one hand, but you can disconnect it. It comes right off. Now, depending on the type of sling you have, If you have one that just clips on here, yeah, you could just unclip it, but I mean, that's nice, you know. I mean, $8. These are they match the finish of this firearm. I'm pretty sure these are blued, but yeah, yeah, well worth the purchase. So up here on the front, what they give you is a see if I can get in here. So you know that this this nut right here, right? It comes threaded already. So this one, you can literally just screw it in, and it comes with some Loctite that they supplied. I actually used some blue, you know, actual Loctite brand, and used it here and locked that in. And I mean, it's solid. It hasn't gone anywhere. So here on the rear, right, it's the same process, but you know, you've got this little spot you got to tap out. And then it comes with a little plastic, well, not plastic, it's like a rubber washer. And when you screw it in. Now, a little bit of warning, right? I use blue thread locker on the front. If you read the warning on the back of thread locker, it is of Loctite. It eats through certain plastics. That's literally the warning on the back of like the blue 242 Loctite. And I started to do it, and then I remembered something. I looked on the back of it, and I had to clean it all off the threads before I even put it in there. Didn't want to take that chance. But yeah, so apparently blue Loctite does eat through plastic. So, and this is a plastic stock. So yeah, don't risk it. You know, if you have done it and it worked just fine, leave a little note in the comments. Like I said, I was using blue 242 Loctite, and that's what the warning was. So just a heads up on that. And for these upgrades, I'll leave a link in the description of the website, like how to get each one of these. But yeah, this was from Uncle Mike's. And then let's go on next. Thing I'm most proud of on this gun is the shell holder. So this is from the brand's called GG&G, and I'll leave the link for this one as well. So from their website, it's for the 500 and the 590 in the description for this. But if you read down in the product description for this, it says also fits Maverick 88, and it is a very simple install. So I'm gonna take these shells out now. They I can't even get that one out, but they hold pretty good, right? One. Let's see if I can get them out one-handed. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So it holds 6. So in this one, when you get 5 plus 1, you got 6 shells you're gonna put in it, right? 5 in the tube, 1 in the chamber. You got 6 shells. So this is a parkerized aluminum, okay, that they machine. Now a lot of side saddles, like you see online. Now this one, I think it normally retails for 91 bucks. I got it on Black Friday for 71. But if you're gonna spend the money on one of these, I suggest doing it. I've been through a couple of them from Amazon and eBay, and you know, it's like a giant card that fits here. You know, it sticks up above the gun just a little bit, and I had problems with them. One of them behind this, it was marring up the finish on it just a little bit. This has plastic, not plastic, but like a rubber, like it, because it mounts here through the firing pin. I forget the name of this. I think it's like not the firing pin, the pin that holds the firing, the trigger group, the pin that holds the trigger group in. The pin comes out, and they give you a long bolt that fits right in, and it screws in right here from the other side. And I'll flip it over here in a second and show you. And then you have another screw on the, and I'll show you this on the ejector you take out, and they supply you with another one to put in here that's a little longer. So you have a rubber like pad underneath this. You have one under here, and it runs the whole length of this. So this doesn't come in direct contact with the firearm, so it's not going to mar up your finish. And also right here, it leaves your serial number visible. So if you, I mean, I think it's nice that you can still read your serial number. I mean, I record all mine, so you know, if you, and I don't want you looking at my serial number, but you know, if you need to be able to see your serial number, you can get to it in a hurry for some reason, you can see it. And what it does, right? It counters them, so like they're cocked, you know. So when you go to flip it over to load it, you can just, you know, rip them out, throw one in the tube. Oh, one more thing. Going back for the review of this, right? So the Security 88 and the 500, they have plastic trigger groups, right? This is plastic. All this whole group has come out as plastic. Now, a lot of the internal parts are metal. This trigger's metal, but like I said, they've been around for a while. If Mossberg was having problems with these breaking, you would probably know about it if you would find it pretty easy. I mean, it's fine to me. I was kind of concerned about it when I learned that, but I mean, it hasn't been an issue. Yep, let's go back into the review. Thought of that, figured to stop and explain it. So let's flip it over real quick and I'll show you about the install. So what they do, right, for the trigger group pin, you know, you can push it out. They give you this one with the Allen head. It fits right in until it hits the threads on the side saddle, and then you can screw it in. And it tells you to put a little bit of Loctite on the threads down here so it stays in place. And then, okay, so real quick, so I'm gonna have to maneuver the action on this. Let's do a safety check real quick. So empty magazine tube. All right, so let's go ahead and, okay. That little screw right there, right? I forget the term for it. It's like that torque. I think it's called a Torx head. They supply the screw or the tool to install that if you don't have them. And it tells you to put a little bit of Loctite. You take the one that comes with it out, and it's a flat head. Take it out, put this one in. This one's a little longer and fits right in. And I haven't had any issues with it. Put some Loctite on it. It hasn't come out yet. And let me go ahead and close the action. I mean, it's a pretty smooth action. I just did that one-handed while the other hand's holding the camera. Let's see what else we're going to talk about here. So I'm going to talk about this forend grip here in a minute, right? But let's skip forward a little bit. So I have a TRUGLO fiber optic sight on the end here. There's a kit, and I'll leave a link for that one as well from TRUGLO. It is a universal kit, so it gives you the fiber optic end piece on it, and then the threads for it. It gives you, I think the kit comes with 4 threads for depending on the gun. It's a universal, so it gives you the one for the 88, 500, 590. Take this front bead off, throw it in there, and then you screw this on. Threw a little bit of Loctite on it. Hasn't come loose since. Alright, so last part, my favorite part I'm going to get to, this forend. This forend, I didn't like the one that came with it for a couple of reasons. One, it's kind of cheap, and I'll show it to you right here, and I got it. So this is what came with it, right? I just didn't like the feel of it. the way I mean it might be solid. You don't ever hear about these things breaking, but didn't like the feel of it. And the whole point of me getting the gun was that I wanted to modify it a little bit, and you know, it's cheap. And the gun, I picked the gun up for like, I think 185, 180, 185 bucks. And going into modifying it, the first thing I wanted to do was change out this forend. Well, lo and behold, on the 88, you can't just change out the forend like you can on other shotguns. So looking at the one that came with it, the the name of this part's leaving me right now. The action slide, these pieces, they're permanently pinned into this forend. Okay, permanently pinned in. You cannot remove these. There is no tube that this is connected to. Usually there's a tube it's connected to, and this forend just slides off of that tube. Well, not on this. So if you want to modify this, you're gonna have to buy a 7 3/4 inch tube for a Mossberg 500. You know, disassemble your gun, take this off, slide your tube on so that way you can put this forend on. The MAGPUL forend, it does come with a tool to remove the castle nut that locks it in place, so you don't need a tool for that. You're just gonna have to buy a slide tube assembly, which is the whole tube underneath this that this rides on, that this sits on another tube that's connected to the action slide. So yeah, that was something I didn't know, and probably if I'd done a little bit more research, probably would have found that out, but that's me forewarning you. I can leave a link for this. These aren't expensive. I think they're like 20 or 30 bucks for the foregrip. Good day between 70 and 90 bucks. You're gonna get this tube assembly, and you're gonna have to buy the nut for the end of it as well that holds this foregrip on. So now that's one downside of buying the 88. Now you might ask yourself, well, why don't I just buy the 500 or 590? Yeah, you could do that. You are going to spend more for the gun, but you're also going to, you're going to upgrade this, so you're going to end up spending money on this. I mean, this is just a cheap little gun, home defense gun. But I've got no complaints with the gun. The gun's great, operates great, works great. I've got no complaints about this firearm whatsoever. I mean, it's well made. It functions the way it's supposed to function, and it does what it's supposed to do. It shoots. Now I said earlier, right, this thing has a capacity of 5 + 1. Now if you get the larger, the 20-inch barrel, it's got 7 + 1. And now that's a trade-off, if that's something you want. Now this gun is like, if you hold them side by side, yeah, it's shorter, but to me that much shortness makes a difference. I would prefer a shorter gun. Going back to the side saddle, now they have a couple of side saddles that like fit over this whole receiver right here. Now it gives you a like a rail, so you can mount things, you can mount optics and whatnot. And I'm the kind of guy that a shotgun's a shotgun. You point it, you shoot it, you should be able to hit whatever you want to with it. Y'all can destroy me in the comments for this one, but this is just my personal opinion. You don't need optics on a shotgun. Just being honest, you should be able to just point it and shoot it, practice with it, and get good with it. Your iron sights will never fail you. And on a shotgun, guess what? If you point it and you shoot it where it's going to go, where you're firing, it's going to go there. It's a shotgun. Okay, you're not long distance shooting with it. So it's just my opinion, my rant. I'll get off my high horse on that one. But yeah, I mean it's been a good gun. The finish is it's a blued finish. The receiver is aluminum, and the rest of this is steel. But I recommend when you get it, coat it in some oil, to prevent rust. But I haven't had an issue with rust. You're not gonna get rust on aluminum, right? But I still I coat everything in the oil and gun oil, to make sure everything's good, help protect the finish. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna leave the links right for this forend, the side saddle, and the sling clips. And for the action slide tube, you're just gonna have to Google that yourself. And like I said, I used the 7 3/4 inch slide tube assembly, and you're gonna have to get the nut, because mine didn't come with a nut. I had to buy a nut separate to retain this forend on there. But yeah, if you can look that up yourself, it's not too hard. But anyways, I hope this review helps. This is the review of the Mossberg Maverick Security 88. And I hope you enjoyed it. It's a good gun, and I highly recommend it. Thank you for watching.